Well, as you can see, Watercolor Escapes is the title of this webisode, and I'll show you the products, but I wanted to give you just a peek look at one of the cards that Heidi has done. So please, come play with us. Well, as always, we begin with the topper collection, and this is, as I said, Watercolor Escapes. So you can see the idea sheet. There are also 112 gold foiled toppers, so all of those die-cut pieces. And there's 8 foiled cardstock, 8 printed cardstock, and as I said, the idea sheet. Now you can see right here, it says that you can make 16 cards, but I know you can make lots more. So to coordinate, we also have, of course, the adorable Scoreable, which is Hunkydory's cardstock. 30 sheets, 10 colors, as you can see, going to coordinate perfectly with the toppers. Now this time we also have the foiled acetate, and it's gold on one side, silver on the other. There are 16 sheets, 4 designs, 4 sheets of each. That works out nicely. And then, as I showed you in the beginning, there is the little square book of Watercolor Escapes. Now this is going to be the same art that's here, but it's going to be in this almost 5-inch by 5-inch format. There are 25 designs, 150 sheets. Yes, so the math is you get 6 of every single one. And then at the end of this webisode, I'm going to share with you this Watercolor Escapes pop-out window concept card kit. That is also using the same imagery. So that gets us a good start, but let's get into the projects because that's where the fun happens. Now, this is actually, and it's also using this. So we'll get in a bit closer just so that you can really see these up close. There we go, even a little bit closer. So in the artwork, there are going to be scenes, but there's also going to be flowers. So you're going to see that kind of changing as we go through these projects. Now with this one, what Heidi did is she used the adorable Scoreable to make her card, and she used the dark blue sheet, the kind of medium blue sheet, I should say. And this is measured 5 inches by 11 inches. So you just cut that out and then score it in half. And that's going to be the base for this card. And you can kind of see it right there. So very pretty. Now, she's also done some matting of the art. So this is the piece that she chose, and this is going to be pretty much the same size as it comes, and that's obviously one of the scenes. And what she has done is she took the foiled acetate, and she's done a couple of pieces. So let me show you the card right now. So you can see there's the seagulls are flying there, larger here, going to smaller. And then there's another piece right here. Now, Heidi has allowed this to be a little bit looser than the base piece. You can do that if you want. This was mailed to us. Heidi's in Wisconsin, and we're here in Oregon. So this came through the mail. It worked perfectly. So that acetate is pretty resilient. Now, I mentioned the acetate is gold on one side and silver on the other. So there's the gold side. You can see. She elected to use the silver side. So that's perfectly fine. Now, ignore my post-it right there, but let me show you that she first cut this piece to fit onto that artwork, but she allowed some extra space because you want to curve it around, or that's what she did. So the measurements are down below in the gallery. So when you click on this card, or indeed on any of the cards, it will take you to a listing of all the instructions that will be on the right side of your screen, as well as all of the materials that are used are down below. So that's true of every single card. And Heidi does the instructions for you. So that piece is going to get cut, and you can score along the areas that you are going to fold to the back. And we really do recommend that you attach it with the extra sticky tape. Now, as you know, that is the tape with the red liner or orange liner, and it's going to really just super hold everything as you would expect the title tells you, extra sticky. So that is the first area going like this. The second area is I kind of put my post-it so I would remember, because it was interesting to me that she just cut a piece along the side here. So that middle area is still available. And as I said, she let that bump up a bit, so you can do that if you like. That too was attached. Now, after she had all of that together, she elected to use the white ribbon set. So here is that. You can see this sheer ribbon. So she just anchored it around the corners, and we'll add a bow a little bit later. Okay, that gets matted onto the light blue Adorable Scoreable, as you can see. So that light blue and the medium blue just do a really nice job together, as you can see. Very coastal image. Now, she also has matted it on white. Now, there is a white inside the Adorable Scoreable. Now, that's kind of the Adorable Scoreable has kind of a smooth finish, but all of these are white on the back side, so you always have white cardstock available. So all of those are matted and placed onto the front of her card. Now, do you see that silver edge? I'm hoping you do, but there's just a thin silver edge. It kind of goes with the silver in the seagulls, and that comes from our thin line dazzles. Yes, there are 63 pieces on every single sheet. There are 4 sheets in here: black, white, gold, and silver. Obviously, I'm showing you the gold here, but the silver is what she used. And so she just edged this right around again to duplicate that silver image. So that worked out quite nicely. And then to get the greeting, so lots of love is right there. Well, in that little square book, there is a sheet, 6 times, this is duplicated, that will give you all of these greetings to cut out. So the lots of love is right there, and it just gets tucked underneath that ribbon, and then the bow is knotted on top. So that's how that is created. Then on the inside, she went to a pink Adorable Scoreable, as you can see. Now, Heidi uses the same directions on all of these cards, and here's how it goes. In order to cover this inside with the Adorable Scoreable, take your glue, whatever glue you like to use, go right around the edge. Then I like to make kind of an X in the middle, my personal preference. Then take this and position it next to the fold and along one side of the card. Press it down, then turn it over and trim it to fit. No measuring required. It's just very, very easy. So you can use that. Now you can see that she's done more of the silver thin line dazzles right here. This image is a second image from that square book, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it really pairs well with that first image I showed you. And this has been trimmed down a bit, as you can see. So those soft edges were trimmed off, matted on white. Now notice that it's glued down at the bottom of the card, so it's not centered because she wanted to leave room for those thin line. This does have, remember the foiled acetate? There was an area in the middle that was empty. Well, the woman is not going to let that go to waste, so she simply attached it with the extra sticky tape, putting little pieces underneath those seagulls. Now you don't have to do it to all of them. In fact, you can leave part of this kind of flapping because it's not going to go anywhere. If you want to, you can put a bigger piece underneath this cutout, and this too is on the sheet of cutouts from that square book. So that just takes a really nice job, finishes that card quite nicely. Now we're going to go to another one, and this is also out of that square book. And here it is. It too is using one of the scenes. The next 2 cards are going to be using the flowers, but this is one of the scenes. And this is an interesting way. So this is a kind of a different way to make an easel card. And I thought that was really kind of fun. It'd be nice if I didn't keep flipping. There you go. Now you can see the same image that she's used here. She's used a smaller version down below. So the way that we get started with this is to create what we call an S-fold card. And you can see why it's called that. It's kind of a oddly shaped S, but there you go. So this is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card. So she has taken and measured halfway along the front. So 2.5 inches, scored it, folded it back. So you're taking this open edge over to the fold, and that becomes our card base. but then she's going to turn it horizontally. So that fold is at the top, and this fold is right in the middle, okay? So that's going to become our beginning piece. Then she has taken the lavender Adorable Scorable. She's cut one piece that is slightly smaller than our card top, and she has glued that in place. Now, on top of that, as you can see as I'm floating this bag, there is another another foiled acetate. Now, there's the gold side, and there's the silver side. So what she has done very cleverly, I would like to point out, is she's used this long strip in two pieces. So for the front of her card, she has used it what you might think of as upside down, because here are the flowers growing from the bottom. She's done it on the inside of the card, but on this card top, she has them coming down from the top, and I think it works really, really well. So that gets just positioned onto the front of the card. It matches the same size as she cut the Adorable Scorable. And you can put a bit of the extra sticky tape right behind the middle of it, because it's going to get covered up with this art. So that's a tip for you. Now, let's go to finish the front of our card. And what Heidi used is this scene. There you go. And this just gets trimmed down a little bit, and then she matted it on our gold cardstock, our gold metallic cardstock. And this is what it looks like out of the package. Very shiny. It is cardstock. And this is a great bargain, by the way, a really good price. And so she has simply matted that right here. Now, when she attached this, again, you can use the extra sticky tape to really secure it. And you're just doing the top part of the art to the top part of your card, okay? Now, the congratulations is one of those cutouts. The yellow bow, well, of course, it's going to come from the yellow ribbon set, as you would expect. Now, she added something else, and let me see if I can show it to you, because in person I see it, but these little sparkles, so she's got one there and there, and she put one at the front door, and these are the gold and silver diamond sparkles from Hunkydory. So that's, everything is all coordinated. So you've got the gold and the silver as Hunkydory uses. Okay, now on the inside of her card, she's going to take that same Adorable Scorable she used, do the glue, make the X, position it, turn it over, cut it. Okay, same thing. Then, clever woman, she took the rest of this, or another part of it, and had that taped down here. So that's going to do the same thing. You can put some pieces of the of the extra sticky tape behind the art, but again, you're going to have a piece right here, so you can put a bigger piece of the extra sticky tape right here. And this comes from this piece of art. So it's the same house, a slightly different angle, but then she trimmed that out to about a 2-inch square, matted it on the gold. In fact, you can see this isn't completely attached because it doesn't need to be. Matted on the gold and then foam taped that. Here, Good Luck in Your New Home is one of the cutouts. She did mat that also on gold, the same little yellow ribbon. And then she put those the diamond sparkles onto some of the flowers and obviously onto the little greeting. So because this is foam tape, that's very important, so that this will hold it in place. And you kind of get an echo of that image outside and inside. Now, just because I can only show you these images, I just wanted to show you the variety of other images that are in this collection. So you get, as I said, a lot of scenes, as the title would expect to tell you, but you are also going to get some flowers, and the flowers are going to be next that I'll show you from the toppers. So you get lots of variety of scenes. So that's good. Okay, now let's get into our topper collection with our next card. And here you go. We are again using our 5 by 6.5 inch card base. That's going to work well for us. as I said, this is out of the Watercolor Escapes Fabulous Finishes collection. This is the topper collection, so that's what we're using now. Now in this, you get the watercolor scenes, but you also get the flowers, just like you get both in the little book. So what Heidi has done is turned her card horizontally, as you can tell, and then this is the foiled cardstock that's in the topper kit, and you can see that she has used this for the front of her card. Now she cut off the green part and then measured this area, so you're still getting that wonderful, wonderful foiling right there, and that goes onto her card. She did mat it, so she matted that on a yellow, and you can just see, of course, that's going to work perfectly. And that is going to get glued onto the front of her card. Now, she did wrap the ribbon, okay? The ribbon is obviously from our red ribbon set. And as you can see on all of these ribbons, there are different styles of ribbon in that set, which just makes it really, really nice. Now, she is going to go into the topper sheet, and it's this sheet. So again, you can see that there are scenes, but there are also flowers, so it's a combination of the two. And obviously, this is the one that she used. Now, with this, there are, let me see, 3 frames. So there's an outside frame, a middle frame that's all gold, and then the frame of the art. So what she did is she took the outside frame, matted it, or didn't mat it, she glued it to the red Adorable Scorable and then cut it out to match the shape, then foam taped that on the right side of the card. So when the ribbons were there, they were kind of wrapped, and about 2 inches over here is where the point is that they intersect. So she made sure that this piece is over here to allow room for that bow. Make sense? So then the frame we're going to set aside for the moment. This piece gets foam taped on top, and it's just fitting right there nicely. The Birthday Wishes is also right here on the same sheet. And by the way, I'm hoping you can see this, but the foiling isn't a solid flat gold. It's kind of a flourished gold. So it's very pretty, slightly different thing for Hunkydory. Now the other thing that she did is she used our red Jewel Dazzles. There are 540 on this one sheet in 3 different sizes. And so she put them into the flowers and just adds a little bit of red to coordinate with the red Adorable Scorable and the red ribbon. Zodded that bow on top, and the front is done. Going to the inside of her card, well, then she went into, remember this piece that we used on the front? Well, she took the frame, that gold frame, and just placed it here, trimmed it out, and that is going to go right here, which I think is so clever to use all of these pieces. Now, she did finish the inside with that Adorable Scorable red that she used on the front. And she did do the yellow again, slightly different, going in a different direction and kind of spreading out from a point, had a bow on top. This border was also on the topper sheet, as you can see right here. And then Sending Love to put a spring in your step, so right there. So that finishes that card. Very nice. Fun to see it yellow and red with just a touch of red, and then when you open it up, it's more red with a touch of yellow. So that works nicely. Now, here is the card that I showed you in the beginning, and let me show you how she did this. So it has an opening, and that's where the acetate is, okay? So super easy to do. Again, our 5 by 6.5 inch card. And so what she did is she drew a line from the bottom right to the upper left, just like that, and cut off just the front of her card. But do not throw that piece away, because if you take that corner and trim off a 1/16 of an inch on both straight edges, so the top and the side, this is going to become our pattern to cut the adorable scoreable to go over here and on the inside of the card. Okay, so we're going to keep this piece. So it's going to use that to cut the light blue, and I showed you that earlier. So you can see it's right here, and that's just going to get glued inset from the card edge, so we've got a white mat around it, and then cut it out of the dark blue. We saw that earlier. And again, in the adorable scoreable, you get 3 sheets of every color. So all these colors you get 3 times, okay? You're going to cut it out of the dark blue. Now, when you set the dark blue, you want to set it inside so that you see that light blue on the edge. Then you're just going to trim this off. Super, super easy. Okay, now we want to decorate our acetate. Now, the acetate has 2 corners. See that one and that one. So obviously she has used one corner right here, and that corner is going to match the size of our card. So it's going to get trimmed to fit perfectly. And then we are going to do the pieces that are going to go on the front. So the border piece went first. It went right along the edge right there. Okay, so as I said, this is going to go right along the border there. Now, if you want to, you can have that acetate attached to the inside of the card, or you can attach it before you start doing those triangles. That's your choice. In any case, it does match the entire shape of the card. It makes a really pretty opening, don't you think? So now we've got that border on there, and then this is the piece that she used, and again, it has a couple of pieces. It has the bigger border and then the center. So with those 2, she treated them as though they were one piece. So she simply foam taped them to the card and then used the extra sticky tape to secure it to the acetate. Okay, then these 2 tags come from the sheet, as you can see. She did go into that white ribbon set again to add the 2 bows. Notice they're 2 different types of ribbon, so that's fine. And then she used a different set of the shimmer diamond sparkles. This happens to be crystal, so it doesn't add any color, but it does add shine and dimension, as you can see right here and right here, and then onto the center of the flowers. Now, going to the inside of the card, she used the lavender adorable scoreable, went back to her pattern and used that to cut out and positioned it just inside the card. Again, we want that white border to show. Now, that would leave, you could see the back of this. So what she did, clever woman, is that she used, okay, you have to follow this. So she used this piece first, and these 2 happen to be the same shape. So she used this blue frame and attached that with the extra sticky tape, but then she put this one in the center of it, and that worked perfectly. So I don't know that we've ever mixed and matched those, but I'm telling you right now, you can do that. Thank you, Heidi. Now, this piece for the inside comes from the adorable scoreable that is in the topper kit, and you see it's foiled. And so she simply cut it to fit inside her card. Now, she trimmed down here, about 1/2 inch. That way the foiling can show, and you certainly want to have that showing. And then the happy birthday is out of that topper set, a little bow, another sparkle, and you are done. Really pretty. Now, I promised you that I would show you the one other piece in this collection, and that is, oops, got the wrong one. Okay, here we go. That is this one, and this is the pop-out window. And what's neat about this type of thing, Hunkydory calls them a concept card kit. It will make 8 cards. Usually it's 2 each of 4 designs. And I just wanted to walk you through this process. There are instructions inside this, and it's not difficult, but let me show you. You're going to get two things that will make your card. You get this piece, and then you also get an inside piece that matches. And these are going to go together, as you can see right here. This is also a paramount, meaning it's going to get built up with foam tape. So you can see all of these are flowers, and pink, red, blue, and yellow, but the inside of them has the watercolor scenes. So let me show you how that works. You do get a couple of sheets like this. So I have pulled together these two. So it comes like that, and this comes, we'll have to back up just a little bit to get both of those in the frame. Okay, so both of those. This one, I'm going to pop this out, and I'm going to fold it. This is going to be our card front. You can see with the foiling. Okay, we can get back in close, and this is the inside of our card. And what you'll do, there are score lines. So this becomes a valley fold, followed by a mountain fold, followed by a valley fold, just like that. Now, you'll put our famous extra sticky tape here and here. So on the back side of both edges. And then this is going to get inserted into that opening. This is going to get attached so that your card is going to look like this. Again, that's the pop-out window. Okay, now to decorate it, remember there's this sheet that has all of these. Well, I've already pulled the poppies out. So here was my sheet, and then I've got 3 layers. They are all the exact same art, but they're pieces of the art. So if you were to take the art and then trim down a piece and trim down another and trim down another, that's how you get all of those pieces. You can kind of see it here with the yellow daffodils and another one and another one. This happens to have 3 pieces. I guess the poppies is the only one that has, well, it has 3 pieces and then the base. So all of them have 4 layers. So what you do is to put foam tape on the backs of those and then position them over the matching art. Just super, super easy. And this is going to go on the inside of that flap so that when you open your card, see, I haven't glued mine down, so it's not quite as smooth. There we go. That is going to pop out. Okay, you get the idea? Then you can decorate on the inside if you want, ribbon. There are additional pieces here that match, so you can do whatever you want. But that's the idea of the Watercolor Escapes pop-out concept card, and that is also part of our Money Saver. Speaking of which, the Money Saver is on the right side of your screen. I know that you can see that, but it's going to give you a bonus if you are interested in the whole collection. Of course, everything is available separately. We'll back up as I bring you the other pieces just to recap. So we've got the luxury foiled acetate in the Watercolor Escapes. We also have our topper collection, which really starts the whole thing. You saw the little square book of Watercolor Escapes, and then always the adorable scoreable that just makes it so very nice. And that's our collection. I hope you will have fun with your Watercolor Escape. I want to thank Heidi for doing just an excellent job. I thought she did wonderful things, some new techniques for us. If you are watching this on YouTube, please, you can go down below and go over to Paper Wishes. We hope that while you're on YouTube, you will like us and subscribe to our YouTube. And pop on over to Paper Wishes, take advantage of that Money Saver. You can see all the directions down below. Just click on the cards. You'll see all of that. And I want to thank you for being with us and for being part of our Paper Wishes family. Bye-bye.